6 of the most evil music artists. Musicians or predators? These men showed their true interests, and it was not just music. 1. Cassius Povey. Cassius Povey was a local star in Lincolnshire, England. Through his guitar playing, he had accumulated a significant female fan base, all of whom were eager to meet him. Once in person, he would force himself onto them. One of his victims even became pregnant and had an abortion at the age of 14. Meg Foley was the first to come forward. According to Meg, none of Povey's friends batted an eye at his actions and his predatory behavior. Shortly after Meg's post, he was arrested. In court, Povey's favorite method came to light. He would offer spiked alcoholic drinks to the girls before assaulting them. Another woman explained that Povey targeted her after she broke up with her boyfriend. He drugged her and kept her in his flat. He was found guilty of 7 assaults, with all but one victim being under the age of 16. He was sentenced to 17 years in prison and registered as a sex offender for life. 2. Solo 45. Before he was known as grime and hip-hop artist Solo 45, he was Andy Inoki. His solo-produced music caught the attention of many in the community. His first solo single, Feed 'Em to the Lions, is considered his signature song. He signed with Island Records, but from there, he began to abuse his status. When detectives searched his phone, they discovered thousands of videos of women being tortured. During his trials, his true evil came to light. They were imprisoned, threatened with a handgun if they resisted or tried to escape. According to one woman, he only found enjoyment when they resisted him. The prosecution managed to extract an unintentional confession from him. They asked him if he stopped when the women asked him to which he replied, usually, before quickly changing his answer to always, but the damage was done. Number 3, Shane Coates. Though commercial success eluded them, their music attracted a large following from the Juggalo crowd. Their own independent record label, Deviant Horror Entertainment, released their debut album, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, in 2018. Things took a turn in 2022. Just a month earlier, a Facebook group called Victims of Shane Coates was created. Here, many anonymous women detailed their experiences with Shane. One story involved a party with a 16-year-old girl. Shane fed her alcohol until she was intoxicated enough for him to assault her in the car. He then kept her at his house for several days until the girl's mother called the police and they collected her. He is facing up to life in prison. People are also calling for his wife to be prosecuted, as she was believed to be his accomplice, but she's gone into hiding. Number 4, Davey Vanity. Believe it or not, Davey Vanity was a friend and roommate of Shane Coates. In 2006, he became the frontman of crunkcore group Blood on the Dance Floor alongside his girlfriend's brother, but his fans would soon receive a huge shock. He was arrested on stage in the middle of his concert. This was the second girl he had attacked that year. His stint in jail was cut short by his father's bailout. Further on, one 11-year-old girl was groomed and abused by a 26-year-old Davey. She was then mercilessly cyberbullied by his fans. When the attacks did not stop, this video was uploaded.
Her father, you bunch of lying, no good punks. And I know who it's coming from because I've back traced it. And I know who's emailing and who's doing it. And you've been reported to the cyber police and the state police. So you better write one more thing or screw with my computer again. You'll be arrested. End of conversation from her father.
You're right, fucking gonna come and beat her ass.
Davey responded with mockery. The next year, from foster care, she apologized for accusing him of assault. Only in 2018 would she finally confirm the allegations were correct. The counts against him eventually reached 21. Regardless, this predator is still walking free and releasing new music under various names. Number 5, Big Lurch. Late 90s rapper Anton Singleton co-founded the hip-hop group Cosmic Slop Shop. When their first album tanked, the group split. The drug caused an obsession with the occult and horror films, which influenced his writing. His use of PCP was unrestricted, would be high for weeks, neglecting to eat and becoming delusional. Even more horrific, the lung had been partially eaten. This was the organ of his roommate, Tanisha Yacius. The medical examination proved that there was human flesh inside his stomach. Singleton's defense pleaded insanity, but the judge concluded that drug addiction could not be used for an insanity plea. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Number 6, R. Kelly. Kelly was encouraged to pursue music after a dark childhood. He formed the group MGM and signed with Tap Dash Records. He became a megastar, attracting many artists, one of which was an aspiring singer, Aaliyah Horton. The two released her debut album and developed a relationship. He was 27 at the time. Thankfully, this marriage was annulled, but it sparked hate towards Aaliyah. Almost 20 years down the line after Aaliyah died in a plane crash, Kelly would admit that he knew her age and married her because he believed she was pregnant. This did virtually nothing to his career. In fact, much success followed, including 3 #1 singles. Things would turn sour in 2002. He pled not guilty and was released on bail. He was arrested again a year later for producing child. He had apparently bribed the victim's family with $2 million. He was accused yet again by 3 sets of parents for running a cult, which he had brainwashed their daughters into joining. This triggered Kelly's downfall. Around the same time, Lifetime released its Surviving R. Kelly documentary series. Kelly, finally, and rightfully so, received backlash. This was his attempt at damage control. His trial in 2021 produced 10 victims who testified against him. He received 30 years in prison and is still facing charges in Chicago and Minnesota. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more.